baby, and then, you know, she feels tired most of the time. And we had to be, like, carrying everything because the elevator was not working or they didn't have any. Like, they need to work on it. Like, this is a city where you have, like, a lot of people with disabilities, and then how you're not going to have elevators, you know?
My mom has arthritis, and so, like, I know my train station, I have to take the 6 train. There's no elevators, and it's a 138th and 3rd Ave. Like, they don't have any elevators. It's a big staircase, and then
Yes.
a whole other big
Dangerous.
staircase. It's dangerous. People could collapse. People could fall, and then also, like, people with disabilities, it's very hard for them to get up there. Older people, it is just
Absolutely.
ridiculous.
Like, me personally, every time I see, like, a mom with the kid and then trying to, like,
I always
I always help them. I always help them because
Yep.
I feel like so bad. Like, oh my goodness, who's gonna help them? And not for nothing, here in New York, like, not a lot of people will be like willing to help you.
There's been accidents. There's been death with the incident with the stroller last year. So that's one point we have to get across. The elevator is
Was that the
important.
one that the parent died, but the kid was actually the kid came out okay?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a big inconvenience.
Absolutely. Like, it's good. It's good because we have, like, 24/7. Like, it's there for us whenever we need it. But I feel like it doesn't work as it should. That's how I feel. Like, you're giving us the service, but, like, you have to work on it. You know what I mean?
The fact that they want to raise the train fare you're gonna make me. I'm gonna pay more for you to make me late. That's why you see a lot more people hopping the train now.
How do you feel about the what can I say? I'm losing my train of thought. The quality, as in, like, the seats, the smell. Like, do you feel like it's hygienic? Like,
Not at all.
No.
Like, not at all.
Nope.
Like, every time, like, oh my goodness. Like, I do have a lot of experiences because I used to live in Jersey, but every weekend I used to come to New York. Now I'm living here, and I do not take the train. But it's, like, so, like, horrible. Like, every time you go, there's someone, like, laying on this, like, how am I gonna...
It'll be regular people lay down on the seat, too, and, like, me personally, I don't care. I'll tell them to move, but, like, some people will be scared.
I would never.
Word.
Never.
I mean, if they're asleep and be like tap them on, they feel like, yo, bro, you serious? Like,
oh my God. No. You see, I would never do that because I don't know how they're gonna react. That's where, like, I don't feel safe. That in that sense, I will never feel safe to tell someone, like, hey, can you please move because I want to sit there.
If it's a bomb, I'm gonna let him rock though. I'm gonna say. I don't know what he got on him.
I'm not sure if you guys know, but it usually is on, like, the trains. There's a sticker where it will say, like, don't play loud music and whatnot. It does say like, don't bring any food or drinks. Like, do you think that will make an impact if people actually follow those rules?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the thing is, like, you have it there, but you don't have nobody to, like,
enforcing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what's the purpose? Like, I know, like, we're humans and we should understand and follow rules, but we don't. So if you know that we do not do that, you should have, like, as you mentioned before, you should have someone to enforce it. Like, listen, if you don't do this, you're gonna get a ticket or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely.
But on an opposing side, I do enjoy showtime on the train. Like,
yes.
If somebody would come through with, like, some music, or if they're really talented, like, I'll have my headphones in all the time, but then if I, like, hear somebody sing, I'm just like, what you singing about? Like, there's been some times though where, like, I'm waiting for a train and there's somebody singing or playing a violin on the platform, and I'm actually like, oh snap, this is actually dope. And then, like, they have their whole social media,
and not only that,
like, on
like,
the paper.
Absolutely, like, there's a lot of talent here in New York,
a lot of talent.
And the fact that they have the opportunity to, like, show the world their talent, it's just amazing. Like, I love that. I do enjoy it. And then even if I'm, like, running late, I'm like, oh wait, look at this, oh my God, I need to record it, Snapchat, Instagram, you know? Yeah, I love that. So it's really good.
What do you think about the weather? How is it like the AC, the heat?
I was gonna go there right now.
Even when it's raining, does it rain inside?
It does. Not inside of the train, but inside of the station. Yeah. So yeah.
It leaks into the station underground.
Like, I mean, sometimes it leaks in the trains, no?
And the buses.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't take the bus like that.
I think it's relatable for New Yorkers to assume when a cart should not be approached. For example, when you see an empty cart and all the others are like
Yeah,
full,
that's like a
it can
sign.
be one or two things.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah. Especially in the summer. Like,
That's why I hate
if
the
you don't
summer.
see nobody there, there's a reason.
Everyone wonders why I hate the summer so much. Even be regular people that have money to take a shower and buy soap that y'all stank. I don't understand why. Like, literally, it was nice the other day. It was like 74 or something. And I'm like, okay, it's nice weather. I get it.
I
I'm on the
mean,
train with someone, and then he has headphones. He has a phone and everything. You look like a regular person, bro. You stink. Like, why?
when summer, like how like summer's coming up, and I feel like nowadays the summers get hotter. People are prone to catching heat strokes. Like how do you feel like that is a safety precaution?
Heat strokes, and then also the fact that the train is always packed around rush hour, claustrophobia. Like,
Me.
someone's gonna faint.
Yeah,
eventually.
that's so true. That's how I feel. Like, I'm so claustrophobic, and I'm like, I can't deal with this, especially the 4 train. Oh my God,
Yeah.
like, it's horrible.
I feel like the main lines are very busy during rush hour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's,
How you feel about the apps?
The apps, they're accurate.
The apps.
They're very accurate.
I did not use the app, so I cannot.
Even
No,
like,
because-
oh no, you go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Like, the things, as I mentioned before, since I don't feel that comfortable, I'm not taking trains, so I do not have any apps. Like, when I take the train, is because, like, I really need to take it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I only take the bus when I'm going to work, and so like if I'm waiting there for like more than 2 minutes, I look up, like, not even an app, just like I look up MTA, my bus time, and it's accurate. And if I had an app, I feel like it would be even more accurate. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel about that. They're good on that.
Going to a little more extreme topic, have you guys ever experienced a robbery or anything in that nature, any assaults? I feel like many people have like kind of those scary stories to share or heard of.
No, I haven't.
Have you seen anything in the news?
So many, like, that's mad funny.
Witness?
Like, on my way back home from somebody's house, like, I forgot what had happened. I feel like some dude was drunk, and I guess he was messing with this older lady, and then these 2 guys saw that and like decided to do some vigilante work and kind of, how would I say this, like, mock him and do what he was doing to this old lady back to him, and like it got physical, and then like eventually people on the train was like, yo, like, do not fight this dude, because then it's gonna stop the train. It's already late. Everybody want to go home, because if you fight this dude, it's gonna stop the train. We're gonna be here delayed for mad long, and I want to go home. Eventually, like, what, 8 people started fighting and stuff. I didn't grab it, but I was just like amping it up because like I'm for it. And yeah, it was just funny. I was saying that stuff. It happens. It doesn't happen often, but it's like when you see it, it's just like, this is regular train stuff. Okay, I guess.
And
That's
this fight broke out inside of the train or the train station?
And inside of the train, and it leaked out of the train station. We were there for like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. According to News 12, I did my research. The MTA is actually taking action by implementing more station cameras, which I think is very, very important.
It's needed.
I did research a specific situation that happened in Westchester. There was a case in which a teenager named Matthew was killed on the tracks at the Wakefield train station 5 years ago, and since there was no security cameras there set up at the time, no one got to see how he died. It was just like they found him dead there, and recently they just started implementing these cameras.
Oh wow.
R.I.P.
I mean,
Yes.
I think it's important to have cameras because certain cases like this, even sexual assault and robbery and all these cases, they should have this. So I think that's a great start for having to have at Wakefield Station. I think they should keep it up and play and do it in every station. It's important.
Absolutely.
I agree.
And even inside of the trains.
That's
Mm-hmm.
that's what it
They
needs
should
to.
definitely
Yeah, in the
have
train,
in the
definitely.
train.
More so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like there are definitely a lot of positive stories when it comes to like taking the bus instead of the trains. What are some things you can share about any pros taking the bus? I feel like there's a lot more pros than cons.
Well, as I mentioned before, the fact that they have Wi-Fi now, it's just amazing, and I love it.
Wi-Fi, and then like you mentioned the USB stuff earlier. Actually, I was running late to work and like my phone was about to die or whatever, and I managed to get on one of those buses that had the USB port, so I could like charge my phone and make the call like, yo, I'm gonna be a little late. Sorry. So, I mean, that's the one time the bus came in clutch for me, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like although the fares might rise,
Next week.
yeah,
They always want
coming
This
up.
week?
Yeah.
Oh my
The
goodness.
21st.
Yeah. I mean, with it coming up, I feel like the MTA always has a statement to say why they're increasing, and I feel like they're increasing. Well, not that I feel, but they are using these funds to work on the tracks to give more features. Like, do you think that's worth it? Like, do you feel like, since you do take the train or bus on a daily basis, do you have any complaints about that if you know that the service is going to improve?
Well, all right, as far as the track work goes, I would say like it would be more nice of them to do it later in the night, like really like 12 to 4 when nobody's really like on their way to anything. Like, I don't know, maybe people have late night jobs, but still, like, whenever it's not really busy, because it's like in the morning when I have to go to school, most of the people, they do their stuff during the day, they're busy during the day. So like, why would you do track work during the day when people have to get somewhere on time? So they could just like change the time on that. As far as like the Wi-Fi and USB stuff goes, I mean, it's cool until like, I mean, it's public transportation. It's like open to the public, so someone's eventually gonna break that, and then how are you gonna repair it, you know?
I feel like it's good. Like, you can see that they're working on it, to improve it.
It's a good idea.
Absolutely, but like the fact that it's gonna be $3, I think it is, right?
The monthly is going to be $6 more, and the weekly is $1 more. Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous, because the thing is, like, Uber, like me, I personally use Uber a lot. Like, the other day I came here from my house and it was only $3. You know what I mean? And I was comfortable by myself.
That's fire. What?
Exactly. So why would I pay the same amount to take a public transportation when I can just take a Uber and be like here on time and comfortable? That's the thing. Like, it keeps going up and up and up. And then
you live close by?
I do, but like if I take the train, it's gonna be like $2.75, and if I take the Uber, it's gonna be $3. The thing is, I get discount, but like
that's great. But like me personally, when I take an Uber, it's like $16, and I pool. And
no.
Yeah.
It definitely depends on the location.
Exactly.
I think it's very easy to think of it through the consumer's eyes, but I feel like a lot of the MTA workers go through a lot. Not sure if you know about the story. I believe happened last summer. A worker was working on the tracks and he passed away, and he was a really young man.
Like a train ran over him?
I don't necessarily know what really happened to him in those terms, but I do know that he was working on the tracks, and unfortunately he passed away. So it's like, it's one thing to be like, oh, you actually experience delays and the cons, but I feel like the MTA workers actually go through a lot too. They go through a lot of cons as well.
And also, like, assault on an MTA worker, you get like some sort of sentence. I don't really know what it is.
Yeah, you get fines. They say
no, you get jail time.
That too.
Oh wow.
You get actually arrested and in jail for like some years. I don't know how many, but yeah.
Yeah.
7 years.
7.
Oh wow, that is a lot.
Word.
But they
Can't
actually
touch
have
them
to go
dudes.
through a lot, because dealing with so many people, it's not easy at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like sometimes when they're doing track work, this routes change, and like I have to like run up to one of these guys like, yo, what train do I take? Like, where am I supposed to go?
Sometimes they're rude though.
They are.
They
like,
don't want to help you, and you're like,
there
oh my
aren't that
goodness, what
many
are we gonna
signs,
do?
and even then, like, the signs aren't really too helpful as much as like a verbal conversation with somebody, I feel like.
How about that? What do you think about needing help with the booth and there's no worker there? Now that you bring that up.
That's when you hop the train. I don't condone it, but hey, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Don't quote me on that. If the ops is watching, I don't do that.
Oh my
I pay
God,
mine.
no.
I pay mine.
But yeah, they don't help. They don't help, and sometimes the metro cars, they don't work.
And what happened?
And then you go to them like, can you please help me? They're like, oh, you know what you have to do? You have to send it to this address, and then they're gonna send you the money back, and you never get like
no response.
no response.
I've
no
never
anything.
heard of that.
Yeah, yeah,
They tell you
they
to
do
mail
that.
your Metro card.
Yeah,
to
they
them?
do.
With the
They do.
receipt, the
With the
number and
receipt.
ID.
And if you don't have no receipt, like forget about it because you're not gonna get anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been living here my whole life, taking the train all my life. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, sometimes like no, sometimes they let you in. They're like, oh, go.
Yeah, no, most of the time they'll let you in, or like, if anything, when someone's coming out of the train, they'll open the door for you, like, yo, just come through.
What do you think about the ones that selling the Metro cards?
Yeah.
$2.
Oh yeah.
One of my
what do you think about
friends,
that?
not my friends, but like one of my longtime friends that I know in my hood, whatever, he does that, and like he knows that all right, I don't have money, but like I pay my Metro card, so he's like, I see him do this all the time. He gets into fights with people sometimes too. I don't know how that $2 swipe stuff works really. Like, how
I
does
don't.
it?
The people
It's illegal
outside.
to do.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god,
illegal.
yeah.
It's illegal, of course, but like,
That's
okay,
so true.
if I buy a $2 swipe off of you, like, what's really the issue? Like, why is it so sketchy? Also, like,
You have
if
to
I'm-
Because you're supposed.
will I get in trouble
purchase
if
it.
I buy it?
No, not necessarily, but you're using it for other people. You're
Yeah.
losing money.
It's like you buying a product from a store and you're reselling that without having the licenses to
Exactly.
resell
That's
at a
true.
cheaper price.
But I mean, like,
There are
Sometimes-
stores in
sometimes the
Soho that do this.
oh,
well, they
I don't know.
probably have
That's
their
illegal.
reseller certification, their certificate.
Where
I've never done it because I'm
neither.
too like no. I will never do that. To be
Yeah,
honest
no,
with
sketchy.
you, I feel like they're gonna steal my money, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's weird.
no, I'm
It's
not.
really sketchy.
I'm not
Yeah.
doing this. But I honestly saw this girl. The guy told her like, okay, go ahead, and she's like, no, give me the money, then I'll swipe. And she was like, no, I'll give you the money when you swipe the card.
Yeah.
I have an unlimited, but like whenever I see someone like they do this or whatever, if you need it, like I'll swipe you. It's no
Oh,
big
yeah.
deal. It's an unlimited. Like, what do I have to lose from swiping
Exactly.
you through the train?
That's true.
How
Yeah.
about the restroom? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you could go ahead.
How about the restroom?
Don't you dare! Don't you dare even do it! Don't even try. Hold it.
I might think it could be
I
very
haven't-
unsafe. I did hear a lot of people do legal businesses on the in the restrooms.
People do illegal businesses in food
Trains
restaurants
everywhere.
Of course.
in Harlem.
But you have to be careful.
I didn't know there were bathrooms in the MTA until very recently when I had to go, and then like I actually like I stood in one. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
They're
What was
usually
your
locked.
What do you see?
um,
Was it clean?
what's a movie I could refer this to? I mean, like any sort of drug movie, just a whole lot of not even on Elm Street, just like what's some drug movies?
No.
Yeah, whole lot of drugs in there.
Yeah.
Oh wow, no, I didn't even know that they had bathrooms there.
How about
Yeah,
the
in some
urine?
stations.
And
not all.
it's really dirty. Like I feel like they do have to work a lot on it.
Maintenance.
Yes, absolutely. Like the rats, and then they're like another person next to you. Like they're not as scared of you. They're like
not.
walking all, and I feel like what are they? My question is, what are they doing to like make this like different? Like,
I have an experience with the rats. Actually, I take the train too much. Like, so. I'm rushing to get my train. It's about to leave or whatever. You shut
Yeah.
me? Like, yeah, right? You don't like it? All right, so I'll keep this quick. So I'm running and I missed my train, but like apparently I stepped on a rat's tail. I didn't even know it. So this lady's over here screaming like, ah! And it's like I already stepped on him, and he was mad cool about it. Like he didn't try me nothing. I'm like, damn, I stepped on one of the nice dudes' tails. That's crazy. Like, I felt bad for homie.
I heard of
Yeah.
instances where rats have bitten some of the people
That's-
riding the train.
Oh my God, no.
Scary.
I
But
heard-
that's why I was kind of mad when the lady screamed at me. It's like, why are you screaming at me? If he would have bit me, like, what are you doing screaming? Like, what does that do for me?
no, but not like I know it's cool and everything, but
No, it's not.
they definitely need to work on it. It's like, do you think a person that comes from another country, like the things that you hear about New York, it's like everything is perfect, but that's not the experience you're gonna like once you go like to a train station. It is really like bad. The situation is bad. Like it's all
hell.
over the place.
It's literally hell.
they definitely need to work on it because like I live here, but if I was a tourist and like I'll be like, no, I'm never going back there.
I'm sorry. I keep laughing at myself because I'm thinking about this video of a guy that there was a rat on the platform and this guy literally kicks it across and it's mad funny because it made a whole sound when he kicked it.
Oh my god,
rat!
He's like you know he was talking to the rat like he kicked it like you know where you at. It's gangsta up here. Like I'm like whoa okay.
Wow. Kind of changing the topic, which I found interesting is there's actually a couple of like young adults. They're like based right now. They're not, really big right now, but they came up with this idea that they want to create an app where you have your MetroCard on your phone.
Oh,
like,
wow.
what do you guys think? Like, that's so
That
cool.
is amazing.
Like Apple Pay, like you just literally put your
Yeah,
phone out.
you can just like buy your MetroCard through an app and like you just like it would be cool to just scan. Yeah, no, you can just like legit scan. Like, I mean, it will mean that they will have to renovate all the stations, but like if you can just scan from your phone, like have a MetroCard, a virtual MetroCard on your phone.
That would be amazing. Like
was
Apple
cool.
Pay.
Basically.
That would be amazing.
That'd be cool. And then also
I think that would be the best idea
also,
ever.
if I could, like, there's an MTA app on the phone. If I could just, like, make my payment from my house as soon as I wake up, okay, let me pay for unlimited 121.
Or see your balance. I feel like is one thing you can instantly forget. Like, oh, how much do I have on MetroCard?
Yeah.
How do I check? I have to go to a station to check.
Because I know when I'm always really running late and trying to, like, make it a close call whenever I got to be somewhere. So whenever I gotta, buy a new MetroCard, that takes time. And also, let's say your card doesn't read, oh, you just maybe like waste 2 minutes, like my train is in 1, and then I just got to run.
I don't know if you guys know. Have you guys taken these buses that you need to like if you want to take the train, gives you like a base
select buses?
Yeah, you don't pay for that.
No, but I do. Oh my god.
Yes, you must pay for that.
Yeah, you must pay for that. And not only that, but I feel like that's so
Because you don't check
inconvenient.
me.
I feel
They
like
don't check you.
No, but the thing is, like, I feel
That's not true.
They do, and it's $100, so you better don't do it.
Yeah, I feel like you just never know when that will happen.
Let me tell you, that's true. My sister, she has unlimited, but she was rushing, so she didn't want to put the card and take the ticket. $100 ticket.
How
And
though?
even
Though
though
she
she
had a
had
MetroCard.
Was there a cop on the
Yeah,
bus?
because
They
They stop
hide.
you.
They hide.
No, the thing is
act
they
like
stop.
they're
There are
passengers.
certain stops.
Yeah, and
So-
they enter.
Yeah, doesn't matter what time.
And then also, you also people on the bus. I don't do it. This I don't do because it's way you making it too hot for yourself. But people will come through the back door of the bus and get on for free, and I'm just like, okay, that's a little wild, but okay.
No, but I feel that's so inconvenient, to be honest with you. I don't like it. I hate it. Like, I live in Fordham. And sometimes, like, when I go to Bay Plaza, I put money on the MetroCard, but I didn't put enough. And then when you have to come back, if you don't, what are you going to do if you don't have, there's no, they don't have the
ticket booth in Bay Plaza.
Exactly.
talking
So
about.
how are you going to, like, put money on it? You have to have quarters, and then what if you don't have?
That'd be
That's so inconvenient.
Wait, so you being recently in Bay Plaza? They still don't have the ticket booths?
No, they don't have it.
That's crazy.
Like, how am I going to refill my card?
That is inconvenient.
That is super inconvenient.
I
They
haven't been
need
there
to
in a
work
while.
on it because, like, what am I gonna do? Like, if I don't have money in the card or I don't have like quarters or anything, like, how would that work? How am I gonna get home?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Kind of going back to the topic of security in the platform. I feel like there's been a lot of deaths in terms of like people throwing themselves on the tracks or being thrown on the tracks. What do you guys like think about that? Like, do you feel like there should be like monitors like checking, the station itself?
I feel like more so now. Like, you're saying that that's happening more now, or?
I mean, it's increased throughout the years. I've noticed, like the reports. of those
Absolutely. Like,
deaths.
yeah, that's true.
I feel like people are taking it more into their own hands because, again, with the train delays, if people see you jumping in the tracks, it's like, what the are you doing? You not about to get on this train and like mess my day up, make me late, get up out of there. People are going to stop you from, like, if you're trying to commit suicide, they're going to stop you from doing it. Like, no, not on my train. Do that somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like,
no. That is like
They'll
really
stop
scary,
you.
to be honest with you. Like, how do you feel like safe? Think about it. Like, me, whenever I have to take the train, I'll never like be standing like, and like, you see like how people stand right there, like just to get in right away.
Yeah.
No,
On the
I will
yellow
never
line.
like in the line, like in the yellow line. I will never do that because I'm just thinking, I don't know who's behind me. Like, what if they push me? Like, oh my goodness, no, because you never know. Like, who's gonna come like with like bad intentions and do something bad to you, like push you or something like that. And then I feel like they have to think about it, but like, if you think about it, what will you do to prevent this from happening?
Of course.
What? Like it's really hard for them to like think about something to protect us. I don't know.
Now that we're talking about the platform, and what do you think about certain stations have the space from the train and the platform to step?
Oh, the
The gap.
14th Street.
That
14th Street has the
Yes.
they have the
Simpson.
thing where like Simpson has that
As
too, where
well.
like when
Not that, but the spacing.
oh no, when your train stops in Union Square and 14th Street, the 456 line, there's like a thing that extends out when the train stops, and it makes it a little closer. I don't know how long that's been there. It's been there as long as I've been going over there for like, I don't know, since 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you think they should have in some of the other
Oh, yeah,
stations? Because
definitely.
some of them just don't have them.
Definitely.
'Cause, you know, there's been incidents where,
Yeah.
especially with kids,
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
your
oh,
legs.
I feel like I don't
Or
even
there's
know.
been incidents where people literally fall down.
Yeah, it should any spot where it's like a huge gap, there should definitely be that there.
Yeah, kind of going more into like the physical things in trains and train stations. Have you guys ever taken the shuttle on 42nd Street?
The S train.
Yes, the
Yeah.
S train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if, I mean, it's kind of been going on this year. I've seen there's a lot of carts where they don't have any seats, but they only have
Yeah.
poles.
Oh yes.
What do you guys like feel about that? I feel like it's convenient for the shuttle itself because
It's
I
one
feel like a
stop.
lot of people get on it. Yeah.
A lot of people
Space.
get on it, and it's one stop. You don't really need to sit down.
Do you feel like you guys wouldn't mind those kind of trains running in your like, you know,
I wouldn't
lines
like it.
in
Nah,
your
don't do
area?
don't do that on my
That's
train.
not even an
Don't do that.
option.
No.
Thank you.
Don't do that. There's a lot of stops in between. Don't do that.
Especially
And on
when you're
top of
tired from work, like
That and the people with disabilities too. The people with disabilities that have to, after standing on on a train that has no seats, you have to go up some stairs. Then like the platform that has no elevator,
Elderly.
definitely have some seats on.
now that you mentioned that, like people with disabilities, like it. I feel like we have to educate ourselves about it because whenever you take a bus, especially like people sit there and they do not care if you're pregnant, if you have any type of disability. They do not care and they do not respect it. They stay there, and then you see these people like trying to like, oh my god, that is so like pregnant girls, and then you see them struggling, and they're like sitting there like
They act like
that's
they
their
sleep.
area. No, you have to move. You have to learn. That's not your space. Like,
Yeah.
go to the back. Thank you.
Or even I feel like, which can be an issue, and I feel like people will get annoyed about it, is when someone takes 2-3 seats and they just put their things next to them.
Yo,
Why?
you moving that? I'm
Why?
tapping you like yo, point
I
to the
paid
seat.
for it too.
You point. You
I paid
literally.
for that
I've seen
seat.
it. Like I do it, and I see people do it. You point to the seat like yo, there's a free seat. While you got your bag there, your bag's not a person. Your
Yeah.
bag does not have limbs that are hurting right now.
Ah, come on, MTA. Gotta do better. We have to do better. There's some cons, there's some pros.
It's a,
but
yeah. Both sides have to do better. Both the consumer and the MTA.
That's so true. The consumer, because as I mentioned before,
Just, yeah.
like we have a lot to do with it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's part of us.
how it works.
Let's talk about some of the artwork we see
Fire.
in these like train stations and trains.
I love all of it.
That's
Yeah.
an
It makes
amazing
it,
show.
it makes New York. It makes you feel like you're in New York. All the graffiti and art and stuff. Like
And now maybe I'm changing the topic a little bit, but I like the things that they put about the Me Too. I think that's how it's called.
The Me Too movement.
Yeah, the Me Too movement. And then if you see something, say something, you know?
Yes.
I really like that because you're like, you know that you have something like a number that you can call and you can help others or others can help you. So I feel like that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Of course. Or have you ever been like, it usually happens like in the shuttles, the S trains in 42nd Street, where they're just like, they're completely like colorful.
Yeah,
like,
the
or
entire
they're like, or
train
they're
is
promoting like a brand or a movie or something, and it's like super cool.
It's
Like the
so
outside of the train is designed, the inside, even the floor, ceiling.
Yeah,
all that.
everything is designed.
And they also have like motivational quotes. Have you guys seen that?
Yes.
Some posters,
Every
too.
time I'm taking pictures because I'm like I love motivational quotes, and I feel
Yeah.
like let me put this, maybe that can help someone. Like whoever
Yeah.
is reading this, maybe will feel motivated about it. You know. So I feel like that's so good. Whoever is thinking about it, it's like really smart.
Yeah, or even the advertisements, I feel like they entertained you, or in a sense, like I think like it's relatable as like New Yorkers taking the train, kind of just like, oh, you know, uncomfortable, buy a new mattress, you know, or
That's
you
so
know,
true.
or you know, you need a car because you're tired of taking the train.
Yeah, that's true. And then they also have like a lot of like sometimes they put like history about New York, like and you can read and you
Yes.
learn, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, or even which I find convenient many times is when train stations are connected to other you know, places. For example, like the Natural History Museum is connected to that train station, and then you know, 42nd Street
Authority.
And the oh my god, which one is that one?
Penn Station?
Yeah,
What, 34th Street, where you take the New Jersey Transit, Amtrak, all those?
yeah.
That's Penn Station, 34th Street.
Yeah.
I think it's Penn Station.
Right next
like
to
yeah,
Madison Square Garden.
yeah, that's good. No, but I was gonna say another one which I don't remember now. But yeah.
What about that station?
It's pretty cool. Like, it's the one that used to be where La Torre Gemelas used to be at.
The World Trade Center?
Yes.
You mean?
Like, you take the train and it's right there, and it's so pretty, so beautiful. Like, you can take pictures, and then
The one train, right?
I think it's the one train.
The one
yeah.
train.
Yeah, those don't be on that one. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's places to where, you know, the museums and like you guys said, the history, advertisement. And there's things that I didn't know as being New Yorkers, but oh, I can go there. Oh, wow. Nice. Oh, there's some.
Even though we complain a lot about it, it takes us where we need to go. So
It takes you where you need to go, and even if you get lost, you'll manage to see something cool, like some type of art or something like that.
Yeah. What is one thing you like to see change from the MTA, from its service?
that's a good question because I'm thinking a lot about
You
a
can
lot of
pinpoint one thing that you would, you know, like to see a change in.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I wish the camera caught us doing that, but like it's gonna sound mean. It's gonna sound so mean, but like the bums on the train.
I
like,
was
they
going
just-
to say that. I
they-
was like, no, please don't say it.
No, cause like nah, cause I'm on the train. I'm already having a bad day, and then just seeing someone homeless on the train makes me feel even worse. And the fact that you want to help these people too, but like you don't know what they're about to spend this money on. You don't know if they're about to go and do drugs with this money, like, and you don't even want to bother. I have a story about, like, it wasn't on the train or anything, but like there was a bum asking for money around my job, and like, you know, everyone's walking past me. Even I walked past him at first, but you know what? Something in my heart was telling me to go back and like, you know, let me see what this guy wants, because it's cold out here. He's out here struggling. Let me see what he wants. He was like, he wanted food, so I'm like, okay, you know what? Yo, bro, you want food? And then he's like, he just starts snapping on me like, oh, get away from me, da, da, da. And I'm like, okay, you clearly don't want food then, so I'm gonna dip out on you. So all these like these bums that you see like asking for money or whatever, like I've learned not to give anyone any money. If I feel bad for not doing it, because like you never know what they're really going through, if they're telling the truth or not, but you can't even do it, because like, look, this guy said he wanted food. I offered him food. He didn't even want it when I offered it to him. Like, there was a Chipotle right across the street. I could have gotten this guy some food and like brought it back to him easily, but if I bought that and he tossed it in my face, I would have tight, because I spent like $10 on that and you're not gonna eat it. That's crazy. I even did it on IG Live, and like people in my chat were like, wow, like, oh nah, you should have decked him. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna touch bum, bro. It's dirty.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. What were you going to say about
I was gonna say the same thing, but honestly, I feel like they should work on something to make us feel more comfortable, more safe. It's good that they're putting more cameras, but like at the end of the day, you can see what happened after, but not like what can you do while it's happening. You know, we need to have more police there, more like people to help us. Or you see those things that they put sometimes, like they can press that button and then someone is gonna come right away to help you. I feel like we need to have more of that, like a lot.
I've never seen that button pressed. I actually don't know what it does. Like, does it actually, like, does someone pull up? Does someone actually come out?
I don't know, but like it probably works, you know. I never know, but like they should find a way to make us feel more comfortable. Me as a woman, like I do not feel comfortable being there. Sometimes it's late at night and you have to take the train and you feel like someone is gonna be following you, harassing you. It is really uncomfortable. Like at the end of the day, it's a place where you shouldn't feel that way, you know, because it's a public transportation, you know, like you sometimes you're with your kids, like it's really family oriented. Like why would I feel this way, you know? It shouldn't be like that. It's New York. This is like the city of the world,
melting pot of the world.
The city that never sleeps.
Literally every race is here. You shouldn't feel any type of fear whatsoever because you have like everybody from every culture. No one should be able to judge you.
Exactly, that is correct.
I agree. When it comes to like, you know, the train times, like how, like, you know, their service, like, do you feel it's inconvenient sometimes in terms of like, you know, after, you know, midnight hours where, you know, it's not so often for trains and buses to pass by? Like, do you feel like that's an issue, and in that sense kind of can be a safety issue as well?
Absolutely.
Because I feel like during those times sometimes
you're giving them time to like think about what they're going to do, you know? And
like I got 12
or
minutes
when
to
there's
catch
like
this girl
lonely
back in.
stations, you know, or like, you know, you never know what can happen and you kind of can't reach anyone because no one's there.
exactly,
It's
no
late
one's
night,
there.
yeah. It's late night, no one's on the platform but you and like possibly a really creepy stranger.
Yeah.
Or even on the
Scary.
trains.
Oh no.
Scary.
It is really scary.
That's
And
what it needs
also
to
if you
be.
think about it, you never see like someone from like the police or whatever like inside of the trains. Like how do they know when like something's happening in there? Like imagine like you in the subway and then someone doing something to you, like who's gonna help me? And to be honest with you, we are in a point where nobody wants to help you. Like, oh, you know what? I wish I could help them, but I don't want to deal with the situation that after I'm gonna have to stay here and do a police report. I have to go to work. Like, I'm not gonna help you. You know, I don't want to get involved, or I don't want to go to jail because I'm helping you. You know, because sometimes you're trying to help, and then you end up like being involved in the situation, and it's really sad. Like, if other passengers are not helping me, or who's gonna do it? You know. There's a lot of things that they need to work on, like really work on.
Yeah, I agree. So, can I say, well, we haven't even spoken about the Wi-Fi. I feel like that's such a great pro.
I was about to flip it on y'all because like we doing all the like judging of the MTA like.
Yes, that is so true.
Go right
Like, y'all
on.
take the train?
Yes, I'll
Of
take
course.
the train. Yes, we do all take the train, right?
Yeah,
Alright.
on a daily basis.
But how do you feel about it?
Taking the train?
Yeah, not only the train, like
Or the bus
general?
in general. the
In
MTA.
general.
I'm very neutral about it. I feel like I'm used to taking the MTA. Which I was kind of like leading into the topic of Wi-Fi. I feel like that's so convenient, especially you know, sometimes I don't have the greatest cell service, and sometimes the Wi-Fi comes to help me out, especially like, you know, when I want to like research where the train is, because, you know, not all train stations have that clock where it tells you when the train is getting there or when there are delays. Sometimes you don't have that in some stations. So I think it's convenient to have, you know, that Wi-Fi to connect to.
absolutely.
Do you feel the same amount of hatred as me? Whereas like I need a car by the end of this year
Yes.
because I'm tired of the train.
Yes.
Even though like everyone says you don't need a car in the city, like how do you feel about it? Both of you.
Hate is a strong word. I personally don't think I would want a car. That's kind of getting off topic, but I just feel like it's not convenient depending on the location you live in. I live in a area where I'm near the train stations. I'm like 3 minutes away from the main train lines, and I feel like I don't need to. It just depends on the person's like lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
But do you feel comfortable? Like, or what do you do in order to feel like more comfortable? Like, you know what I do? I do this. You were telling me something before.
Yeah, I
like-
mean, there's definitely tips like I've gotten, and you know, I've been taking the train all my life. As an adult, then I started taking it by myself. Young girl took it with my parents. I feel like the tips that I got to say about that is kind of just like be alert. Don't have your headphones on full blast if you're listening to music or anything, just in case you need to hear anything. I would say have your phone charged, because you don't always have that access to like, you know, charge your phone.
Yeah, they only have it in Manhattan, Brooklyn, so.
Yeah, and they don't have it in trains, so you know, you have it in buses. Well, as of now. And I guess which I've gotten is kind of just like try to get into don't get in a lonely cart. You'll know like the lonely carts are usually like in the back, towards the back. So try to get into the middle or the front. That's where mostly like, you know, so you don't feel alone as well.
That's true.
I feel more comfortable in a car where no one's bothering me.
Yep.
I can get there on time.
Yep.
You know, and I feel more safe.
That's where, like, when she mentioned
Too
lifestyle.
much things going on in the train. I don't feel safe. There's no security. There's no cameras inside the train.
Yep.
And I think the car is just much better. I'm with you with the Uber. I do a lot of Uber. But they need
Do you
to
have
fix-
kids?
No, I don't. But I have nephews and nieces.
Will you
and-
feel comfortable if one of your nephews like take the train by themselves?
No, absolutely not. I have teenagers, nephews, and I do say to put your phone away. You know, there's a lot of robberies that go on.
Yeah.
Always be alert. Don't have both of your headphones on your ears. You know, I agree. You have to be alert. You have to be alert and always go where there's a crowd. You know?
Absolutely.
Always go where there's a crowd and go between, you know, the middle of the train. Don't go towards the beginning or towards the end. It's not safe. And always go where there's a conductor at, where
Yeah.
you can reach someone right away.
Oh, definitely.
That's what I always do. Honestly, I'm like, I feel safe to have you next to me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like when you mentioned lifestyle, like when I brought that question up to you, that's a like good key word, because like I feel like my lifestyle, I guess, doesn't suit the train because I like bumping my music really loud. I like having 2 headphones in the car. I could just like be surrounded by my own music, have no one bother me, not see somebody and like feel bad for their situation or anything. It's just like it's just, I don't know. I guess I like being alone. Like being alone in my own space.
World.
Yeah. Everyone says that. Everyone says that I be in my own world, and I like that. I like being in my own world.
Yeah. To be honest with you, something I really like and enjoy about taking the train, it's seeing people from different cultures. Like, it's so amazing how the way they act, the way they do things, the way they look, the way they interact with each other. Like, you see so many things, like how different we are from each other. And I love to sit there and just like see people like, oh my God, look at him. Oh,
The
wow, that's
tourists.
so amazing.
They'll be
Yeah, and then
tourists.
listen to different like languages, and then I'm like, oh wow, that's so amazing. And it's and then you meet people like, hi, how are you? It's like they're really nice people there.
Speaking
Yeah.
of that, have y'all ever? Everyone has this MTA moment, the little MTA crush that y'all have for like a good 2 or 3 stops.
That's so true. Everyone
Everyone's had
has
it. Everyone, y'all can't even
Don't lie.
about that.
Don't lie.
I meet friends, you know.
You know you've seen
You know, you
that
window
good
shop.
looking
Make
dude.
friends.
Where you seen that? Yeah, I see you looking at me. Yeah, what's up?
I think
Oh,
it's
damn,
a
you getting next up. That's crazy.
Oh my God. No,
I think
look it up.
it's a great place to meet people of different backgrounds.
That is so true. And then it's
Sometimes.
it's true what he's saying. Like sometimes you guys are looking at each other. You're like, oh no.
Yo, like, no funny, but like, I seen this girl twice on the train already. If I see her at the time, I'm just getting her number at this point. Like, we do the same. We look at each other and it's like, yo, if I see you a third time, it's over. I'm sorry. 2 different days.
Oh my
Good
God.
point. Good point. That is so true.
Because you never get that second chance. Like, the second time I seen her, I'm like, it's the same person. Like,
I mean-
whoa.
I mean, I'm glad you're aware of your surroundings. I feel like
Yeah.
when I go to the train, I see people on their phones the whole time, or
No.
they're reading. You know.
I'm the one that like I have both my headphones in. I'm like yeah, but I have my eyes open. I'm always looking around, you know, to observe the,
Yeah, sure.
the culture.
You're looking around.
To observe the cultures.
No, yeah. Sometimes I just love it, and then you look at that person, and you're like, "Hi," you know, the way that like.
Damn, you fun. I'm sorry, I'm a clown.
I know. I see that.
You. That's fine.
Yeah, I made me come here.
I forgot what was that.
It's comfortable. That's good.
That's good. That's good. No, yeah, but like that's a really good thing about the MTA.
Yeah.
And it takes you to 5 boroughs, you know. That's
Yeah.
another thing. That's okay. With the 275, take you from all the way to Bronx, all the way to Staten Island. So that's another
Yeah.
we could say about
I've never
it.
been to Staten Island. Don't you have to take the ferry?
Yeah.
You do.
Does
The
that
one
count
train.
as the MTA?
Well, yes,
A
kind
boat?
of.
MTA
How
got
you gonna
boats.
How are you gonna take the ferry?
How you gonna take the ferry?
It's not its own thing.
You could take the subway.
You need to
The
get.
one
Really?
train.
The one train
Yeah.
goes to. I never been. I never been, so I don't know.
Okay, so we're gonna take you there. It's okay. Don't worry. You're gonna take
Oh,
the one.
no.
Yeah.
What's over there?
I think you'll like it.
And,
Alright.
and the
I love
arts
it.
around, you know, since you asked us, the
Mhm.
arts around, the diversity,
I love the
students,
diversity.
families, everything.
One day we
Entertainment.
gotta set that up. We out. Let's get it.
I hope you see that girl. I hope you see that girl again.
Shit.
Okay, let me know.
I don't know. Hopefully.
Oh wow, yeah. And sometimes you're having a really bad day, and a person looks at you and just smile, and then I feel like that makes my day. That's why I'm always smiling, because I'm like, I don't know if you're having a bad day, and maybe if I smile, I make your day better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've had that. Like, I've seen people, like, I'm having a horrible day, and I take the train, and then there's one person looking at me like trying to say hi, but not saying it, but like, you know, how are you? And that makes me feel happy. Like, because here in New York, you feel so, like, alone. You know, like, you feel like you don't have nobody. And when you can, like, get that, like, have that connection with someone, it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, even though I'm in New York, like, there's people that are really nice.
And you know people every day. You know somebody. You know, you're friendly. Like, good morning. You know, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Have a good day. So that's another.
Yeah, I feel like I've had experiences where, like, and I have a long time, I've been trying to search for him. It was an amazing train conductor that his announcements were just so entertaining. He was so lively, and it really makes your experience different. Like, you know, he has something to say about each stop. And then when it was the last stop, he just kept saying, last stop, last stop, last stop, last stop. And he just kept going and going and going. I definitely feel like that personality in, like, public transportation makes
how
a
you know he
difference.
loves what he
Yes.
does.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you something now that you mentioned that. I feel like this was like the funniest thing ever. It was like summer, and there were like 2 girls fighting for a seat, and they were fighting, and then the guy was like, the conductor, he was like, guys, it's too hot for this, please go get yourself a Corona and enjoy the weather. I was like, oh my goodness, you know, but everyone was laughing, and after that was the end. Nobody was fighting or anything else, you know, like, so that was kind of
Low key, now I want to be an MTA conductor. I feel like I could live on the train.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about, like, you've been waiting for a train or bus, and then that train or bus comes by and you see they're not in service?
oh
How do you
my
feel about that?
That's a heartbreak.
That's the blow, bro. Like, why are you even driving around? Why are you not in service? What's your engine works? You're moving. Why are you not in service?
But you know, now maybe I'm gonna change the topic. Do you know that they have it's about safety. They press a button, and then there's something in the back of the buses that say like, oh, or do this, blah blah blah. Like, we're like in danger. Yeah,
Are you serious?
yeah.
Like the red lever.
Yeah, like on top, they do have it in
On
the
the
back.
bus?
Mm-hmm.
There's a red
If
lever.
there's
on the
someone
bus.
doing something, like if there's something happening inside of the bus and they cannot do anything or call, they can press like a button, and then there will be something so the police, like the cops, could see it,
Yeah.
so they know that they, like, someone is in danger.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. And at least we can say, like, I've seen cameras on the buses.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know,
there's
there's a
cameras
big
on the
difference
buses.
there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look now when I get on this bus.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
red button.
It's not a rap button,
What
but
is it?
I don't know honestly.
Celebrity.
I don't know
Celebrity.
honestly because I one time I took the bus, and then there was another bus that like came first, and then I asked the bus driver. I was like, oh, why he has that? And he was like, he probably did it by mistake, but that let us know, like, or other people know that they're like in danger or something like that. So it was pretty
Oh,
interesting.
wow, I just learned something.
Thank you for informing this to us.
Yeah, that's interesting, right?
That is very
Yeah, for sure.
At least they have like a way to like.
communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And I also noticed on many buses now, and it's towards the back. I think they do have it, okay, the front and the back. They have like a screen, and it tells you what's the next stop, what are the following stops after that.
That's only in Queens, I've noticed.
No, they have it. They have
not
it in the
necessarily.
Yeah, the BX6 21.
But you know something, I don't know. Since I mentioned I'm from Jersey, I don't know if they have it here. They do have like this, like, you see like a map that like each bus has it, so you know,
yeah.
like, and not only like for the bus that you are taking now, like they have like different bus numbers, so you can like check, oh, this bus goes here, blah blah blah.
Oh, they
I've
have it in the
seen them
stations.
before. I've seen them before in buses.
And the station, I haven't seen it here in New York, but I think that's pretty good, like, to have it there, because you help like a lot of people that they don't know where they're going or what's then during the next stop. And sometimes you want to ask people, and they don't know, or the bus drivers do, like, and you find yourself so lost, and you're like, oh my god, what should I do now? So I feel like that'll be really convenient.
And I feel like in certain situations as well, there are sometimes detours, and I feel like, you know, if you're not really paying attention, they're announcing the detour, or, you know, they're skipping a stop, and, you know, you don't even know because you're not aware. Like, it can be an inconvenience if you're not aware.
Yeah, and then I don't know if it's me, but most of the time I don't understand what you're saying. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, what he just said. And then we have a lot of people that they don't speak English. Like, what if you're saying something really important? How they're gonna know, like, what's happening or what the other person is saying? Like,
That's up.
yes,
Yeah, for sure.
They should
yes.
have,
You see
translator.
this, absolutely. Like, you see these
I
people,
see it all the
this
time.
in the training, they're just asking you, like, oh, what they said, what they
Permiso,
said,
I don't
and I'm
know.
just there like,
Yeah, but
I'm sorry, I don't even know what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
true.
like, I know it's hard because we have people from all over the world. Like, you cannot have like something translating for like Chinese, Spanish, blah blah blah, you know. But like something. At
Yeah.
least-
I have seen advertisements where they do translate some of the things out, so I think they're working on it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah,
Yeah.
They should. I mean, we could see the advertisement in the, you know, in certain stations and stuff, the different
Yeah.
translations. I mean, the language,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but they should have it like in the conductor. Like,
Kind of.
important to have different languages. for
Yeah.
those who don't
Imagine,
know
but also
English.
imagine like the conductor like saying the stop in every language.
That'd be great.
It
That would be
That'd be
great.
It would be great,
it
but,
would
like,
take forever.
crazy. Yeah, like it would be, I was thinking more like that.
Or not even just that. I feel like maybe if they had like digitized like advertisements, or like, you know, where like you see it through the train system, so you see some of the stops and they're lighting up, maybe, you know, having it in different, you know, languages.
Or during the ride when like no one's talking, or when like the train conductor is not talking, in that time period, how you have the time to go through all the languages and say, oh, the next stop coming up is gonna be this.
Or maybe they should put, because in certain areas, you know, like, oh, here we have like most of the people, they speak Spanish, or they speak Chinese, or because if you go to Chinatown,
It's predominant. Yo, literally, all you gotta do is
Yes.
turn the corner and just mad people that are Asian. It's like,
and then
damn,
all
all I have to do
their
is turn a corner. This is crazy.
yeah.
As far as I love Chinatown.
Yeah. Have you guys ever used that kiosk where there are in some stations where, like, you know, if you're unsure what to take, what train to take, you provide it with a location you're trying to go to, and it tells you which train and which stop to get off.
No.
I didn't even know anything
No.
about it.
Yeah.
Where's this at?
I did see one station, a couple station in 42nd Street in Grand Central. I believe they have in Times Square. They do have it like in the really big stations. I find that pretty cool. And I do see people using that, you know, to see, like, instead of, you know, using Google Maps, they can just use that.
That's really cool. Because sometimes even Google Maps won't be accurate, or Google Maps won't give you the best and fastest route.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys were able to relate to us and also learn about the pros and cons of the MTA.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your experiences with us as well. So, yeah, I feel like it was really good.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.